You're the whole gardener. You are the one that's planting, watering, and harvesting. You are the gardener, which is funny because we don't eat plants, but you're the
gardener. Welcome to the Carnivore Revolution. I'm Serena.
And I'm Jess.
Today we're going to talk about things we wish we had known before we started the carnivore diet.
And maybe regrets that we had along the way.
So the thing that I wish I had known the most is I wish I had known how it was going to change my brain, if that makes sense. I had no idea, first of all, how easy it was going to be and how good I would feel. But mentally, more than anything, is the part that really surprised me, because when I started, it was for weight loss, because that's why most people start, some sort of a diet change. But I was about 6 months in when I realized that I was better, that I was well from all of my mental stuff, from my moodiness, from my eating disorders and my disordered eating and being obsessed with food and calories and how much I weighed. I mean, it was like this mind-blowing thing when I realized how much it had changed me. I just had no idea. And I wish I had known sooner that these crazy effects can come from food, and that it was the food that was making me sick before, and it's the food that can make me well now. I think so many people don't put that connection there and don't realize that it's the food that's making us sick, mentally and physically. I mean, that is huge, that it's the food that's doing that. And the other thing was the inflammation. Like, my body was just very inflamed and I had no idea. So it wasn't until a year later when I compared a couple of pictures of my face, and I actually weighed more in my after picture than my before picture. But I've actually been accused of lying and people telling me that it's not even me because the picture looks so different, when really it was just the inflammation in my face. Like, my face looked like twice the size it is now, like just really swollen. My eyes were really small, and so people just don't put enough emphasis on how much of a difference inflammation can make. So I guess the things that I wish I had known were like how easy it was and how it was going to fix me. Like, I'm better, I'm well mentally and physically for the first time since I was like 12 years old, and I'll be 50.
Yeah. And the mental stuff too is really interesting because it kind of just goes away. It's not this grand epiphany, at least in my experience. It wasn't just this thing where I woke up one day and the clouds parted and the angels were singing and I was a different person. It kind of just like went away. And then one day I realized, like, oh, I'm a different person, looking back in retrospect. So that was really interesting to me. And that blew my mind the most, because it was kind of subtle and sneaky, because you kind of just do the diet and you start to lose weight and you start to feel better, and then one day you realize that you're a completely different person. And that was my experience, at least.
Yeah. And it's so much more than that, even, because it's the confidence level, like that, your confidence level completely changes. The things that you think you can do, completely change. It's really just an amazing process. And like you said, it just kind of happens. And for a lot of people, they don't realize it's happening until after. And then you're like, wait a minute, who am I now? It's really amazing.
Yeah. And if you guys have tried this diet and experienced the same thing, definitely let us know your story in the comments. We love hearing your story. And if you're enjoying this video, be sure to like and subscribe below. For my biggest thing that I regret or wish that I knew before starting the carnivore diet is just being more patient with people. Which I do think that comes to as your mental health starts to heal. But in the beginning, when I knew that the diet was working really well for me, I became like a zealot, I guess, a carnivore zealot, where I just wanted everyone to do it and I just wanted to tell everyone about it. And I was kind of dogmatic, to be honest. And my father specifically, he was diagnosed with diabetes and had gout my whole life. And his doctor thankfully told him to go on a ketovore type diet to reverse his diabetes. But I wanted him to go carnivore, and I I would get very upset if I saw him eating non-carnivore foods. So, and I didn't have much patience or grace with him. And I was like that with my husband also. So the people that I were not strangers necessarily, but the people that were really close to me, when I saw them hurting themselves with food, I took it very, very personally because I knew they were harming themselves, and I knew that this way of eating could help them. But I wish that I would have known just to have more patience with people, and not everyone's going to jump into it like I did or see it from the same point of view as me or through the same lens. Uh, and enjoy it as much as I do, and that's okay. And I've learned that now, and I'm okay with it now. But in the beginning, I was much more aggressively carnivore than I am now.
See, and for me, I wasn't aggressive in the beginning because I was more shy about it. Like I don't really talk about it a lot because I don't ever want to come across as pushy or telling somebody what to do. But at the same time, now that I know so much about it and I have done so much research and read so many books and listened to so many, podcasts and watched so many videos from doctors and people that I really respect, and I know so much about it, it bothers me even more than it did in the beginning that some people just seem to not care. And that's really hard for me because I want to be the healthiest that I can be. I want to be the best version of myself that I can. And so I have tried many different things over the years to be really healthy. And now that I have found the thing for almost 2 years and I feel better than I have ever felt in my adult life, I want other people to feel that way too. And if they don't want to feel that way, that bothers me. I just can't understand why somebody doesn't want to feel their best and why eating meat has to be so hard sometimes. And I know that the addiction is real to the carbohydrates. And a lot of people would say, but it's not an addiction. I just want it. But if it's causing you adverse health effects and is affecting your health, and you might not live as long, and you might be sick, and you might not feel your absolute best and be able to get, up and down off the floor with your grandkids and run around, and have fun, then I think it's worth it. And so it bothers me when other people don't think it's worth it, if that makes sense. I feel like it should always be worth it for us to live our longest, best, healthiest life so we can be here longer with our kids and our grandkids. And so just bothers me when other people don't have those same wants and desires. And I do kind of want to force it on them. I want them to feel their best. And some of that's selfish. Like these are people that I want to be around for longer, right? These are people, it's not about me. This is about them feeling their best. And I do want to be with them for longer. I want to be their friend for a really long time. And so I want that for them. It's always me just wanting the best for people. And I don't want it to come across like I'm being pushy. I just can't understand why they don't want that for themselves too.
It's so interesting to me that we're opposites. We're opposites in so many ways, but that in the beginning I was more like that, to where I was like, you have to do it, like I want you to do it this way, this way, this way. And then now I'm like, hey, do what you want, it's your life. And I have like a very like que sera, sera, like I don't know. I think that's very interesting. I wonder why some people are like that.
I don't know. It is interesting. And for me, I think it's partially what has happened to my brain during carnivore. Like, because before I would never like really push things on people. Well, you know what? That's not really true, because when I was juicing, I was always trying to get people to juice. I was always trying to get people to taste my juice and try it. But it wasn't like that for me in the beginning of carnivore. I don't know if there's like a little bit of shame that comes along with it in the beginning before because I think like for me, I think I was still trying to figure it out, and I was still trying to understand how fruits and vegetables could be bad for us. So I almost feel like if somebody goes vegan, they are loud and proud, about being a vegan. But for me, and I did that when I was vegan, I told everybody that I was giving up meat and animal products, it was like this celebration. But then when I became carnivore, I was like this like meek and quiet mouse about it. Like I didn't want people to know it first. And that's just all, the programming that we're fed all the time, that, meat and animal products are bad and fruits and vegetables are good. And so I think that was part of it for me in the beginning. And now I wear my shirts all the time. I talk about it a lot more. I carry around I carry around a bag of meat, like almost everywhere I go. And I am much more vocal about it, but I still really try not to be pushy.
Yeah. So, okay, that's interesting. That makes more sense that if that's like how you were in the past, and it makes more sense that now you're comfortable with it, that it's how you are now. I don't know, I never like really did diets that had names before carnivore, like because you were vegan and did you did Atkins or Weight Watchers and things, you did all of them with the names. I never did like a diet with a name. I just knew that I was told you have to eat a bunch of vegetables if you want to be healthy. And so I would eat a bunch of vegetables and only lean meat. So I don't know what that was called, but like that was always like the diet that I was on, was like vegetable heavy and lean meat. And I never really cared if anyone else did it. I was just focused on me losing weight. So I don't know. I guess it makes sense if that's like our personalities for it. But yeah, that's my biggest regret, or my biggest thing that I wish I would have known before carnivore, is just to chill out and focus on me more. And if people want to take their health more seriously, they will. And if they don't, they don't. And I always say, like, you can't save everyone. And I really like have come to that conclusion that you really can't save everyone, no matter how much you love them or how close you are to them. Like it's still their life. It's still their decision. And at some point you got to just let it be.
And that's really hard. Like, I think I probably have like control issues a little bit. I'm a little bit OCD in certain areas of my life. Not everything, because the house is a disaster right now. But I think that's hard when you kind of want to control things, and but you can't control other people. And I can't make other people put the donuts down. I can't make other people not feed their kids a donut, a lollipop, and a soda at 9 a.m. before church, and then again at 10:30 after church. And there are people that do that. Their kids drink an entire soda, eat a donut and a lollipop before service and after. And then they wonder why their kids are tired, exhausted, overweight, throw temper tantrums at the grocery store, and those things are hard. Like, I want to fix it. I want to tell people about it. But like you said, and you've said that to me over and over and over again in the last year, that you can't save everyone. And that's still a hard pill to swallow for me.
I know it is, especially when you care about people. But I feel like in this journey too, it's our destiny or whatever to either be the person that wakes somebody up or be the person that just plants a seed. So when I talk to people about it and they aren't receptive, or they don't do what I say or something like that, in my mind, I'm like, well, maybe I'm just the person that's supposed to plant the seed, or maybe I'm the person that's just supposed to water the seed. I'm not the person that's there to wake them up yet, because they're not ready. So that helps me of okay, well, this isn't my job right now. My position in their life is just to plant that seed or water that seed, or maybe to wake them up. But so that helps me. And I don't know if it's just me telling myself that to make me feel better or not, but I mean, it does make me feel better.
But what's that thing people say? Like, you have to be touched by something like 13 times before it starts to take. So I'm the one that's like, hey, you should try this. Hey, you should try this. Hey, what about this? Hey, did you have a donut? Hey, I thought you were gonna, like that's I'm the one that's doing that. I'm the one that's like, but.
You're the whole gardener. You are the one that's planting, watering, and harvesting. You are the gardener, which is funny because we don't eat plants, but you're the gardener.
So funny. Okay, well, I think that wraps it up. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time here on the Carnivore Revolution.